In order to be prepared for higher education, we need to take a glimpse into the world through the eyes of those living it. Hi, I'm your host, Sameera Chiruvolu. I have questions about the future, which is why I am going to deep dive into the journeys of college students and graduates, exploring the majors and paths they've chosen. Welcome to Scholar Stories, the podcast, where we bring you practical advice and inspiring stories. Today, we're talking to Sameera Chiruvolu, an incoming freshman of Case Western Reserve University studying biochemistry in the pre-med track. She graduated from Ursuline Academy in Dallas, Texas. During her time in high school, she participated in many clubs, leadership positions, and internships. Let's let her talk about it more. Welcome, Sameera.
Hi, Ashreya. Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, Sameera. Can you start by telling us what inspired you to pursue biochemistry on the pre-med track at Case Western?
Sure. So I'm going to be a biochemistry major, and I chose this major because, firstly, I love biology and chemistry. Those were two of my favorite subjects in high school. I was very curious and fascinated by the major. It is also a wonderful major for the pre-med track, as my goal is to go into medical school in the future and hopefully become a doctor. And biochemistry is also a very good foundation for the MCAT or the medical college admissions test. So very good preparation for the future as well, which is also why I chose it. I also thought about what would be suitable and applicable to my career as a doctor, definitely alternate paths such as with the biochem major, you can go into biotechnology, for example, as an alternate if I would want to go down that path as well. So definitely a lot of tracks you could go through if you were to be a biochemistry major. And so that's mainly the reason why I chose biochemistry as my major.
Yeah, on that note, what exactly is biochemistry? What does it consist of?
So biochemistry or biological chemistry is the study of chemical processes within and relating to living organisms. So biochemistry explores chemical processes of living organisms. Biochemists study the molecular mechanisms by which cells feed, divide, and grow, which is also learned through biology as well. And typically a biochem major consists of biology and chemistry, as in the name, but also a little bit of math and physics as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting subject. Are there any resources at your college that are particularly beneficial for biochemistry and your career path?
Yes, so specifically for biochemistry, there is a research honors program track that students can take. It is very, very selective though. But for that, you apply after your first semester of college. And there are also a lot of medicine opportunities as well, such as to join the University Health Aid of Cleveland, which their main goal is to solve grassroots issues that contribute to health disparities present in the community and engage students towards public health efforts. And it's a wonderful opportunity for those who may be interested in the areas of public health, medical sociology, or medicine to join your team and help ameliorate health disparities that's present. And over the past year, they've been focusing on 3 initiatives: podcast, roundtable, women's health. We also have WISER, which is women in science and engineering. So they basically promote inclusion of all women in STEM, as well as we have the Undergraduate Diversity Collaborative, which helps to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion at Case Western, as well as Cleveland Clinic and university hospitals in walking distance. So that is also a big, big perk to get those internship and research opportunities. So those are just some of the resources that are there at Case Western.
It's amazing that your college has a lot of resources. But now let's switch and start talking about your high school, Ursuline. I know that you were deeply involved in the choir team. Were you in any leadership roles, and how did that experience shape you?
Sure. So I was basically a section leader for the altos, which, to the listeners who don't know, they're people who have a relatively low singing voice. I loved choir with all of my heart. I've been singing since I was about 10 years old, and choir is something that I grew up with and definitely cherished with all my heart. Some choir activities that I participated in were all of the fall and spring concerts. So some highlights in the fall include our major concert every year. And in the spring, we have Jazz Night, which features jazz pieces, and Sounds of the Season, which feature more choral pieces. I also participated with choir in the TPSMEA, all region choirs. TPSMEA stands for Texas Private School Music Educators Association. So I competed amongst thousands to get a spot in one of the two choirs, either mixed or treble, by singing audition pieces. So each year we had to sing one girls' piece and one mixed piece. And mixed choir is boys and girls, while treble choir is all girls. Furthermore, I participated also in solo and ensemble, which is an opportunity for students to perform and receive feedback while also receiving a rating. The ratings include 1, 2, or 3. So 1 is superior and is the best rating. So I have mostly received 1s and 2s. I also, with TPSMEA, I did get into the treble choir over there. So those were some of my experiences with choir.
That's really impressive, especially because you've been singing since you were really young. Alongside your heartfelt dedication to choir, I also know that you are very involved in diversity and inclusion. Have you participated in any diversity events, or are you part of any student inclusion committees?
Yes, so I was part of my school's community and inclusion student leadership team. The message being advocating and creating a voice for other high school students to speak with their voice and spread the crucial message for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I was so lucky to have been a part of this team, especially since definitely middle school was a bit of a rough patch for me. So I wanted to join this team so other students, feel like they have a voice, that they feel included. And through this team, I've been to events such as the Dallas Area Diversity Youth Organization, which our school helped organize twice, and I helped with our topics. My senior year, our topic was culture sensitivity and intersectionality, and my junior year, our topic was what is in a name. So in terms of how your name is important to you, where does your name come from? I was also a part of the Student Diversity Leadership Conference in St. Louis, Missouri, where I got to meet students from all over the country and talk to them about their perspectives on certain issues and topics, whether it was race, culture, religion, etc. It was such an amazing and eye-opening experience to get to see what others went through from their perspectives, and it's just an experience I will never ever forget.
Wow, the Student Diversity Leadership Conference is highly reputed. Can you explain how you were selected?
Of course. So I had to submit an application to apply. And in the application, they asked questions such as, the theme for this year is bending the arc towards justice, radical optimism, transformational joy, resilience, and brilliance. How does your vision for an inclusive world filled with peace relate to this theme? Or if selected, what would be your goals, et cetera, et cetera. Then I had to wait a couple weeks after submitting the application. And finally, I got an email saying that I was selected. And so 6 of us, I believe, were selected that year to represent Ursuline in the conference.
Well, that sounds like a rigorous selection process. But on top of all of this, you have a lot of accomplishments in science, obviously, considering your major is biochemistry. Can you share research or internships you have done?
Of course. So the summer after my junior year and senior year, I was involved in 2 research projects, one on congenital syphilis, the title being incidence and characteristics of infants with congenital syphilis in U.S. NICUs, and NICUs meaning neonatal intensive care unit, from 2011 to 2020. And probiotics, the title will be Effects of Routine Probiotic Supplementation on Infants Born Very Preterm or Very Low Birth Weight in a Suburban Hospital. So it was really awesome to collaborate on research together and see how a project can kind of come to life and all of the different steps that come with it. For example, introduction, hypothesis, methods, results, etc. And for the probiotic supplementation project, I worked on it during the school year of my senior year in a class that I took called STEM Independent Research, where during the school year, we would research on a topic that we were passionate about, and then at the end of the year, we would present our project to the school. So that was very, very exciting. I was also involved in a 2-week internship the summer after my junior year, where I got to visit the NICU, attend morning rounds with doctors, observe them care for patients, and I also attended multidisciplinary rounds. And I also got to talk to patients, charting, and I even got to witness a live circumcision done, which was cool. It was really amazing to get to be mentored by Dr. Chiruvolu and get to learn about teamwork, collaboration with the staffs and the patients, and also resilience and determination. I also volunteered my senior year at Baylor Scott & White McKinney, preparing the admission and discharge folders. I folded laundry, answered phone calls, and also helped nurses and cleaned equipment.
Your experiences in those research projects and internships are very impressive. Since you are deeply involved in science, were you also in any science honor societies in high school?
Yes, so I was part of my school Science National Honor Society. In my junior year, I was a junior representative, and in my senior year, I was president. And in the Science National Honor Society, I mentored and tutored upperclassmen in physics, chemistry, and biology, guided students who are interested in STEM, led and promote science competitions, and also invited guest speakers to help motivate students.
It's awesome that you were president. About that, I know your high school, Ursuline, is a girls-only Catholic school. Did you like that environment, and do you think that helped with leadership opportunities?
Yes, I think that environment made me who I am today. Like, I would not be where I am without Ursuline. Ursuline's motto is Serviam, meaning I will serve, and it can be taken to any context, whether it's helping someone in academics, volunteering, and also finding leadership opportunities. It is also faith-based, allowing me to root deeply into God, and having a school that is faith-based is important to me to plant myself in the presence of God. I myself am not Catholic, but I believe that God is who you make out to be, and it's always good to be rooted in God. And a faith-based education also allows for a global worldview as well, giving students a broad, healthy perspective on life compared to peers. And really, that's helping me also with community and inclusion. So with those things, I think that Ursula has really prepared me into who I am today.
We now know that you are super involved in your community, both in and out of school. Do you have any hobbies after school to let off steam?
Yes, so I do play tennis outside of school. It's really a nice way to relax and take your mind off of school and activities going on. And I think exercise is such a wonderful way to relax and does wonders to the body. And it's just important to get good exercise, get the mind off of school a little bit.
Yeah, you handled your many activities amazingly. How have you balanced everything, and what advice would you give to other high school students who are also passionate in multiple areas?
I would say to definitely do research and really think about what you are interested in. I would say also see if there's some sort of alternative, such as combining passions together. I know at Case Western, there is this kind of like interdisciplinary area where you can combine different passions. So seeing if there is that kind of thing at certain colleges. Also talking to your guidance counselor or parents or guardian. I think they will also have good advice as to, definitely how to move forward with all your passions. And also talking to other students, specifically college students who may be doing what you want to do. I know for me, I talked to two college students who are at Case Western already, and they have been giving such good advice as for academics and the workload with biochemistry. And I also asked them definitely about why they chose biochemistry. And so that really helped me into choosing biochem because of what they have experienced. And obviously, while I know it is a hard major, I think that I'm really happy that I chose it. And it's definitely going to serve me in the future. And also, I would like to say it's okay to have multiple interests. And it's okay also by junior or senior year to still have questions. I think having multiple passions is good, and it means that you like different things. So I would just say to explore and really see what you're interested in.
Yeah, that's great advice. Speaking of your strengths, what do you think was the strongest thing on your college application, and how did you prepare for the college admission process?
So those are good questions. I think for me, the strongest thing on my application was definitely my internship and research and volunteering. Because I think, GPA, SAT score, I think those are things that they're quantitative, right? Working hard, doing the best that you can achieve that GPA, SAT score. But the activities and the awards and those kinds of things, they really make you in terms of, everybody has different passions. Everybody has different hobbies that they're interested in. And so I think that elevating those things is really what's going to make you stand out. And for me, for my application, I was very science-based. So all my activities have to relate to science. Starting a club, being president of an honor society, while that is amazing and while that is important, I think the internships, the research, those definitely take it to the next level in terms of showing college that, hey, I am interested in this. I've been doing XYZ on this. I've been doing projects on this. And so I think that really took my application to the next level. And as for how I did prepare for the college admissions process, I prepared actually as early as freshman year by, I would say for freshmen, sophomores, kind of seeing what you are passionate about, join different clubs, different organizations, get a feel for how those things are, and kind of see what you're interested in and join clubs that relate to that. I know for me, I always wanted to go down the science route, so I definitely joined, different science clubs and opportunities, and I took the opportunities as they came. And so I think that's something I'd recommend to a freshman, sophomore. See what you're interested in and try different things. And junior year, I definitely thought about the schools that I wanted to apply to, and also prepared for the SAT for colleges. And I also did a lot of research junior year about college, like what I would want in a college, such as academics, activities I was interested in, location, and also in the future, what would be good for pre-med or what college is best going to suit me to help me prepare for the MCAT. And then in senior year, I basically finalized my list, started my applications. I applied to 25 schools, and they took a lot of time. I had to do multiple essays, write down all my activities, but I'm so glad and so proud of myself looking back, managing my time and really working on each application. So that's kind of what I did throughout my 4 years in high school. And yeah, I think Definitely also challenging yourself as well through classes. I know I took a lot of APs in high school, and I think this really helps prepare me for college as well. So taking those AP honor courses, that's also important. And so I started doing a lot of that in high school.
You should be proud of yourself. Now, let's move forward to the future. As an incoming freshman at Case Western, what are you most excited about, and what do you hope to achieve in your biochemistry and pre-med studies?
I am most excited for Case's environment. I think Case Western has an environment that's very collaborative and hands-on, which are important to me, especially as a doctor. Hands-on learning is just really, really important. I am excited to meet new people. I have already met my roommate. She is very, very sweet, and I'm so, so happy to have met someone like her. I'm also very excited for my classes and to meet my professors. And I'm excited for all the opportunities that Case Western has to offer. Their small class sizes. Case Western is a private university. And also volunteering in internships at the Cleveland Clinic and university hospitals, and also the Cleveland Institute of Music and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which Cleveland is very, very famous for.
As we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners about your journey, or any final words of encouragement for people pursuing their passions?
I think one advice that I would want to share, especially to high schoolers, is don't give up. No matter how tough the process may seem, just remember that you all got this. Push through and push forward. Also, I would say don't believe everything that is on the internet. I know that is very, very tempting. People say, oh, this is how to get into this school, this is how to get into that school. But I think everyone has their own story and journey. And so I would just say throughout the admissions process, really tell your story. And that is what should shine through. And also apply to as many schools as you feel like you would like. I know I applied to 25. I know to some that may seem like a lot, but I really wanted to push myself in terms of college admissions. So I would say that was definitely worth it to me. I think that I really got what I wanted out of the 25 schools I applied to. And so, apply and just put yourself out there and tell your story. That's what I would say to anybody listening.
Yes, thank you so much, Sameera. It has been a pleasure having you on the podcast today. We're all excited to see what incredible things you will achieve at Case Western and beyond. For our listeners, if after listening to Sameera's incredible journey, you have a newfound interest in pursuing a similar path, here are a few things you can do right now. Get involved and seek opportunities. Look for internships and research projects by reaching out to local universities, hospitals, or organizations to find out about opportunities available to high school students, like Sameera did. Remember, the journey to college is unique for everyone, and exploring different majors and career paths can open up exciting possibilities. Keep asking questions, stay curious, and don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to stay tuned for more inspiring stories from different college students and graduates. Until next time, this is Sameera Chiruvolu signing off from Scholar Stories.